Namaste, everybody, and welcome to another class on Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So, today we will start chapter 4 and we will try to complete verses 1 to 6. So, Sri Krishna says, I taught this imperishable yoga to the sun, who taught it to Manu, who taught it to Ikshavaku. Thus, this was handed down through the generations of royal seers who knew it. But over time and long period, this yoga has been lost. This yoga also that I teach to you today has been known since ancient times to devotees. And since you are my friend, so I am revealing the supreme secret to you. To this, Arjuna says, you were born after the sun. How am I to comprehend that you taught this in the beginning of times? Sri Krishna replies, I have taken many births just like you, but unlike you, remember them all. I am an imperishable soul, the Lord of all beings also. And since I control the emergence of Prakriti, I can create the illusion of my own existence. So let's first start with what Sri Krishna says that I taught this imperishable yoga to the sun. So, which is this imperishable yoga? So, here there is a certain amount of continuity from chapter 3 to chapter 4. In chapter 3, he keeps saying, let's start with chapter 2. In chapter 2, he speaks about everything being temporary, recognizing the temporariness of existence and understanding what Sthita Prajna is. Sthita Prajna is steady awareness. Steady awareness means you are aware of the Brahman every time you exist. From there, when you go to chapter 3, in chapter 3, he talks about how you function always with your cognition in the Brahman, and yet you make sure that there is no raga dvesha in your action. Now, this means that you are continuously yoked to the Brahman whenever you are existing. So, this is the imperishable yoga that Sri Krishna has taught the sun, who taught it to Manu, and to who taught it to Ikshavaku. Now, this is a very interesting aside because the sun taught it to Manu. Why is the sun so important? The energy of the sun is called Savita, and Savita is the Deva controlling Savita is the quality of Savita is Ritam. Ritam means excellence or the energy of the of that drives excellence. Savita is the deity of Ritam, and the meter is Gayatri. So Sri Krishna taught it to the sun, who taught it to Manu. So the source of all mankind is the sun, is the sun, and Manu has descended from there because of Savita, and he taught it to Ikshavaku. Ikshavaku is the Suryavanshis. The Ikshavaku is the beginning, the progenitor of the Suryavanshis or the solar dynasty of which Sri Rama, from where Sri Rama hails. Thus, this was handed down through the generations of royal seers, but over time it has been lost. It has been lost because we begin to associate ourselves with the various koshas, the Annamaya kosha, Pranamaya kosha, Manomaya kosha, Vijnanamaya kosha. That is, we are continuously identifying ourselves with our environment, with our actions, with our desires, and with our passions. And because we have Artha, Kama, Dharma, and Moksha, we forget Moksha and we continuously get trapped in the world of Artha, Kama, and Dharma. We get trapped in rituals. We can get trapped in non value adding activity because we identify ourselves with an outcome. We have an expectation, and out of that expectation, we generate an outcome requirement, and that creates a problem for us. So he says that I will teach you this yoga, and then you can improve yourself. To which Arjuna says that, look, boss, you are. I mean, how do I know that you have taught this to the sun? The sun has existed before you. And as a result, Sri Krishna tells him, I have taken many births just like you, but unlike you, I remember them all. Very clearly, what he's saying is that when you're in a state of Sthita Prajna, even though actions happen around you and you are there, you are not actually the doer. There is no ahankara, there is no doership. You are completely merged with the Brahman. That is why he keeps saying in the next, in 6, is that I am an imperishable soul, the Lord of all beings also, and I control the emergence of Prakriti. Hence, I can create the illusion of my own existence. So now we need to, in this particular part, take a look at what we understand of Sri Krishna. Sri Krishna, there are multiple images that we can have of Sri Krishna. First, obviously, is about the child who's playing, who's got enormous divine qualities. The person who is who goes and becomes a friend of the Pandavas and initially even of the Kauravas. He's actually indifferent to both of them and friends of both of them. But thereafter, you also see a lot of other divine qualities or capabilities which are not necessarily human. So these then begin to confuse us as to what exactly is Sri Krishna. So from this chapter, what we can elicit of Sri Krishna is that Sri Krishna existed at the beginning of time. He remembers every avatara that he had taken hitherto. He taught yoga to the sun, the yoga of the imperishable Brahman. He is an imperishable soul because he is merged, he is completely merged in the Brahman, and he can control the emergence of Prakriti. So it is obvious that Sri Krishna is not the Brahman itself, because if it was the Brahman, then he would be in a cognitive state of null, and there would be no emergence of a Purusha from there. So here again there is a confusion. If he is Brahman, then what reflection is he then projecting to everybody else? So is he the Adi Purusha? That is also not really accurate because his identity is well defined. But he says that he controls the emergence of Prakriti. Now we have seen that from the Brahman, when the identity comes out of the state of null, that is possible only when something is sacrificed. And it seems sensible that that state of sacrifice from the state of null to the Adi Purusha is also a state where there is no identity, but at the same time there is a transformation and there is creation of Prakriti. So from there the control of Prakriti is possible. And so the hypothesis which I am putting forward is that Sri Krishna is Adi Yajna. Adi Yajna means he is the penultimate, the original sacrifice, which also means that all forms of sacrifice are Sri Krishna, have Sri Krishna embedded in them. Suppose a mother sacrifices some amount of food to ensure that the children are eating better. That sacrifice has Sri Krishna embedded in it. When a soldier sacrifices his life for the country, there is Sri Krishna embedded in it. When a person sacrifices time, energy, and effort to teach another child how to study a particular subject, that has got Sri Krishna embedded in it. If a person goes and feeds other people, that sacrifice has Sri Krishna embedded in it. So Sri Krishna is in almost every sacrifice. The sacrifice right now that I am giving a lecture has Sri Krishna embedded in it. So what we need to understand is this is the hypothesis I have is that Sri Krishna exists in every action where you need to let go your identity and do something. So here I'm going to stop for 2 minutes and take questions. Any questions? If Prakriti is driving the gunas, then that gunas are also driven by Sri Krishna. No, sir. No, no. The gunas, there is no such thing as Durguna, sir. Everything has got Sri Krishna in it. Because he also later on in chapter 9, he talks about I am the wicked in the wicked. I am this one in the gambler. So he says that he's there in everything. No, in my opinion, he's there in all activities. If you view Sri Krishna as divinity, yes, you will have a problem. But if you view Sri Krishna as Adi Yajna, the one who because we have to be what I call we have to be impersonal in the way we deal with the subject. So in chapter 4, he's saying, I'm the one who drives Prakriti. And every time in chapter 6, chapter 7, you will see that he says that he controls the movement of Prakriti. If he is the one who is controlling the movement of Prakriti, Prakriti moves in good and bad directions. No, sir. Like for instance, Pranavayu and Apanavayu are both Prakriti. Pranavayu gives you life. Apanavayu is generation of waste. But without Apanavayu, Pranavayu cannot survive. No, sir. So, in my view, that this whole Sri Krishna's thing cannot be taken in isolation as only a good human being or a good person or a divine quality. It is both. As Daivasura Vibhaga Yoga, he talks about both qualities. But the chapter before that, he talks about himself as that also. No, and even in chapter 11, when he's talking about everybody going inside him, whether they are good or bad people. So, and my view is that Sri Krishna is neutral, brand neutral. He's got no positive or negative. We are the ones who are assigning positive or negative qualities to him, but actually he is brand neutral. If you will see, Krishna also does a lot of galata in Mahabharata. He tells Bhima to hit Duryodhana below the waist. He tells Duryodhana to cover his groin area when he goes to his mother, knowing fully well what is going to happen. So Sri Krishna is no what we call doodh ka dhula hua.
Thank you. Do like, share, and subscribe. For more information, please do visit my website www.schoolofyoga.in.